Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Mags. So I hope you all stayed safe and well out there. So in this video today, we are going to be talking about, of course, Harvey Barnes signing for Newcastle United yesterday. It was officially confirmed by the club on their social media account, and of course, then we ended up seeing him get a debut in the game against Aston Villa yesterday as well, at, of course, the Lincoln Financial Stadium, as we took on Aston Villa in our first game of the Premier League Summer Series out in the United States. And of course, there will be a review up on the channel, a reaction, of course, to that game, as it was late here in the UK, with the game, of course, kicking off here at midnight. With there being a 5-hour difference between us and the United States, of course. So that was why there was no reaction up on the channel last night after the match had finished. And of course, there will be one on the channel today, so keep an eye out for that on the channel. But in this video, we are going to be covering, of course, the news around Harvey Barnes officially being confirmed as a Newcastle United player. And also we'll be talking a little bit about an update on the Maxi deal as well to Saudi Arabia. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, we're going to start off with obviously Harvey Barnes first, and we will talk about, of course, this deal. Now, this, like I've said on many videos already now, this is a fantastic deal. We're seeing what he was capable of last night. He almost scored a goal in the game against Aston Villa. It just was a really good debut from him, a very good run out by the lad as well. And, you know, signing a 5-year deal with Newcastle United is a big deal. That is a massive deal for Harvey Barnes. It's a massive deal for us Newcastle United fans, and for, of course, the club. Looking at his excitement, you know, in the interview, he's already had his first interview. He's already trained and he's already had his debut now for Newcastle United in that game last night. And in his first interview, he come in, you know, buzzing with a big smile on his face. So he wants to be here. That is what we'll love to see. You know, players that are ready and willing to pull on that black and white shirt, pull on the Newcastle shirt, and give it all for the name on the front of the shirt, and not to be an individual. And that is exactly, you know, what Harvey Barnes is willing to do. He's willing to come in and he's willing to give it all here at Newcastle. And you can see by the comments that he's made, you know, for a player looking on, it's a project you want to be involved in. That in itself right there shows you exactly what kind of player, you know, Harvey Barnes is. Eddie House had some fantastic stuff to say about Harvey Barnes as well, and the signing of Harvey Barnes, with Eddie House saying, as you can see up on screen, of course, Harvey is an exciting talent who I have admired for a long time. He is strong, quick, and very good technically, and he showed last season in particular that he has an eye for goal from wide positions. He will add a different element to our play, and we look forward to working with him as we prepare for the season ahead. So classy as ever by Eddie Howe. And, you know, every time Eddie Howe does a conference, you just, you know, see just how classy this guy is, just how professional this guy is in his craft and in his career, and knowing what he, you know, wants to say to the media. He doesn't give too much away as well. He was very, very clever with his tactics in saying that Harvey Barnes was still a Leicester player, even though Harvey Barnes was already training with the team. He was already out in Philadelphia, and of course, they'd done all of the meet and greet with a player as well. So very, very clever as always by Eddie Howe to, you know, disguise any information and keep it all quiet until, of course, the official announcement. I am really enjoying that, and of course it is tough for us content creators and for the media, of course, as well, to put out content when that's happening. But that is the best way to do it, I think, because at the end of the day, there was so many rumours coming out of players that were joining, and they weren't even joining. It was just absolute crap clickbait articles being put out by the Northeast journalism and other journalism as well. and that isn't what we want as a fan base. That isn't what anybody should want as a fan base, to be honest, because you want to hear the truth. You want to hear, what is the actual dealings that is going on. And the only time you'll hear that is when the club officially announce it, or if you know for a fact that somebody in the journalist world is very credible with their sources, like Fabrizio Romano for Instinct. He is another one that is a very credible source. You can pretty much always count on Romano to be right. He's only gotten a couple of things wrong over the time. But moving away from that, of course, we will talk now about the update from Maxi, of course, and this is coming from Fabrizio Romano. This is somebody that I do really rate very, very highly for, getting football news. If you want to know if it's legit, if Romano's talking about it or David Ornstein of The Athletic is talking about it, then it is legit, because them two guys will not put anything out unless they have checked every single source out there to make sure that is the correct news. But like I say, even they can make mistakes a few times. Not everybody's perfect at the end of the day. Looking at what Romano put out on Maxi, of course, he says Alan St. Maximin to Al Hali. Here we go. Verbal agreement reached. First part of the medical tests passed too. All parties waiting to check documents before getting deal done / sealed. Contract until 2026 to be signed soon. Of course, we're seeing images circulating as well from Maxi's social media of them putting up the war flags display, of course, that Newcastle did with Maxi in the big number 10 in the Gallagher end. Clearly that is a message of goodbye to Newcastle United. It is a little upsetting that, of course, Maxi does have to leave because Eddie Howe really didn't want him to have to leave. We're being forced on this one, unfortunately, because of FFP limitations. And, it would have been nice to see Maxi stay. But like I said in previous videos, if we can get rid of Maxi and bring in another 3 to 4 bodies, then that's fantastic, because it's much better bringing in 3 or 4 players for one player instead of just keeping that one player, because if Maxi gets injured, which he does get injured quite a bit, then that's that player gone. But if you have 3 or 4, then there's a much bigger chance of them not getting as injured moving forward. But of course, Maxi was watching the game last night as well, and he was cheering on Newcastle. So, he might be gone. He might be going to Saudi Arabia. He's almost complete over there, as you just seen. He's completed the first part of his medical, but he will always be a Newcastle fan. Like I always say, once a Geordie, always a Geordie. And it's always the case, look at all the players from the past, the likes of Gary Speed, still Geordie, even now, now that he's passed on, he's still a Geordie. Nobby Solano, still a Geordie. Warren Barton, Rob Lee, Geordies. David Ginola, Geordie. Tino Aspria, Geordie. Once you put the black and white shirt on, or any Newcastle shirt on, and you are adored by the fans, then you are a Geordie for the rest of your life. Look at Papi Cisse, another player is a prime example that once a Geordie, always a Geordie. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. Of course, like I say, there will be another video up on the channel to give my reaction to last night's game against Aston Villa at the Lincoln Financial Stadium, of course, home of the Philadelphia Eagles. And, keep an eye out for that one. But as for this one, hope you liked it. If you have, please hit a thumbs up on it. Please consider subscribing to the channel as well. And if you want to join the membership, then it's only $1.99 a month. Of course, you get a shout out once a month, as long as you remember. And you get priority replies down in the comments below, as well, as long as you are part of the membership. If you don't want to go down that route to show a little extra support to the channel, then you can of course do the super thanks button down below. Press that, put in any donation you want into there. All donations are welcome and none of course are taken for granted. Until next time, I'll see you all in the match reaction, and however that's.